Hello everybody. I haven't done a fishing video in a real long time. I thought I'd do one now. I'm gonna do some Tenkara fishing here. And I got my Tenkara rod from streamsideleaders.com. Very nice, very good guy there. It's a nice rod. This is a signature series, 10-foot, 6-inch to 12-foot. We're going to set this up. Tenkara is pretty simple. It's got a cork in there. Take that out. Put that in my pocket so I don't lose it. Now, Tenkara rods, the way you attach them to your leader to it, just has one straight line, and I really didn't like that a whole lot. So what I did was I put a loop on there. I took the string off and I put a loop on there instead, so I can go loop to loop, and that's working great for me. So basically I'm just going to pull the rod out, just telescope that all the way out, and then you can twist, and there it opens up another 1.5 feet. But I'm going to put that out in the side there. There's nobody else here. I'm not worried about it getting stepped on. So I'm going to take a leader. I'm just going to take my normal leader that I would use, and it is a 12-foot 3X tied by Christopher Fav. Christopher Fav's leaders are fantastic. I'll give you a web address to find them. I love them. I ordered the 12-foot 3X and then add to that. Always put the leader on your fingers and hold them tight, and then you can take those loops out and then unwind it like so, because if you just let it go, it's going to be a knot. It's going to be all knotted up mess. And this one I actually have a tippet ring on there, and on that tippet ring I have some 4X, and then actually I just have 4X, but I'll put 5X on here if I want. But having that tippet ring, I can't say enough about the value of a tippet ring. If you buy the extruded tippets from the fly shop or even from that discount store, Walmart, it's a good idea to get tippet rings and put that tippet ring on the end of it. And if you buy the extruded ones and you're going to put a tippet ring on, buy one that's a 3X and then tie the tippet ring to the end of that 3X. And what that tippet ring does is it saves your leader. Save your leader big time. You'll buy one a year instead of several. Now take the loop on the end of my leader, put the loop on the end of my Tenkara through it, and then take the remainder, then put the end, or put the leader back through that Tenkara loop, and then just simply pull it, and you have a loop-to-loop connection. It is never going to come off. Sometimes with the Tenkara knot or the Tenkara end there, it comes off for you. So there we have that. And this leader is, let me take a quick measurement here. This rod is 12 feet. So I have probably about almost 15 feet of line on this. So I'm just going to put a fly on the end of this. Now, I never put a fly on beforehand, or even when I'm fishing with somebody, you know, I get the question, what are you going to use when we're still in the car? Well, I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm going to get to the water. I'm going to see what's happening first. I'm going to check out the water conditions. The water is a little bit high for this time of year, but it's perfect condition. It's a perfect height right now. Water is a little off colored because it's been raining a lot here in the Northeast, and there's actually another storm coming up the coast. So I figured I'd get some fishing in before it rains again and makes it unfishable. So I'm going to check out the river here a little bit, and then decide what I'm going to use. Here's the river. Got downstream there. We got a lot of fast water there. But I hardly ever go from here down. If you could see way down there, there's a railroad bridge. I fish under the railroad bridge, but between here and the railroad bridge, it's not the best. You know, there's only a couple of spots there that are decent. So I'm going to come up. And actually right here, right against this bank here on the left, I catch fish there all the time. You would think out in the middle, because that's knee deep, was nice, and I will cast out there. But I usually catch them right here, right behind that little ripple there, the end of that ripple, and then going up by the tree up there also. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. I think first I'm going to put a dry fly on, because dry fly on a Tenkara is pretty fun. And I don't have a lot of dry flies on me. You can see I don't have my box with me. But I have a couple dry flies. And I have a light Cahill, and this is light Cahill time of the year. I'm going to put a light Cahill on and give it a few casts. Now with the Tenkara, when I cast this, I'm only getting, like I said, I have about 15 feet of leader, and then the rod is another 12 feet. So I have 12 and 15, 27 feet. I could get up there a decent amount. Plus, with the Tenkara, you have to be very careful and very sneaky. Because you're going to be at short distances all the time. So, I got that on there. I'm going to trim that butt, or that tag end off. And I'm going to put a little bit of float on there. And by the way, you could get floating from streamside leaders also. Very good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take the excess floating and put it up my leader. And then I'm ready to cast. I'm only getting, like I said, 27 feet. But it's not even that much because my leader isn't stretching out all the way. And this is really simple. All you do is just, it's cane pole fishing. There's no other way to describe it. Give it a few casts out towards the middle there where it's deep. A little deeper, but also right here underneath along this bank is deep also. With Tenkara, casting directly upstream, you're not getting a lot of distance. You're probably better off casting your nymphs or your dry fly from the side of the place that you suspect the fish is. I'm going to give this a few casts anyway. That was a good cast right out through the middle, got a nice long grip. The coils are finally coming out of my leader, so it's stretching a little further. One thing I didn't tell you, when you take the leader out of your package, run it through your fingers and straighten it out. That's robbing you of distance. Just going to give this a couple of more casts here. I'm going to go ahead and put on a nymph now. I'm going to see if this is 5X or 4X just by comparing it to the 4 and 5X that I have on my spool. I'm going to try the 5 first. And that's probably 5, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to put some 6X on here. Don't use 6X too often, but I do know that I don't have really big fish in here. And even if I had 4X on here and I caught a big one and he took off on me, probably going to break me. I'm going to go and put about 3 feet of that 6X on. The only drawback to a Tenkara rod is that when you catch a big one, you got to be able to run with them. You know, I've got my leader. I got that fixed, but I have a soft hackle wet fly here. That's an olive one. And then I put on another. I put about maybe 12 inches, a foot worth of dropper off of that. And here I have the chocolate Hemingway Mayfly Nymph. Has the metallic bead in there. But also, even with the Tenkara, I always use a strike indicator when I'm nymphing. So I'm going to use the indicators that I made, that I did that video with. Just going to take it, and I've got 2 of them here. 2 of them connected here. I'm going to measure first. I'm going to put it about 4 feet. And it's a good idea to put it above a knot. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to peel it off. And I do got a little bit of my finger on there, but you don't want to get much. And you take it and fold it over the line and just squeeze it together to itself. I didn't even get it on there perfectly straight, but it doesn't matter. Just squeeze it hard. And here we have my indicator. You could get hundreds of them for very cheap, less than $1. Go ahead and put that back. You can see here's some more. I'm always using the indicator. I like that. The thing is, like when you're using the foam indicator, what you want to do, just like when you're fishing a dry fly, you want to keep the dry fly drag free. So the same goes for when you're using an indicator. If you're keeping that indicator drag free, then your nymphs are going to be going drag free, and that's what you want. Another thing, when you're nymph fishing and you're not going to lengthen your line anymore, or even if you are, but a good idea when you're nymph fishing is to let the water current load your rod up. So you let that drift all the way down behind you. Or you can even do a little bit of a roll cast back there. And then it loads the rod, and then you can just flip that right up to where you want it. I'm just going to fish this where I know I've caught them before. Now I'm good 18 feet length. I'm staying a good distance away from where where the fish are. Then as it's coming down, you can just lift the rod tip. Keep that going drag free. There's a hit, there's a fish. Now, when you're got Tenkara and you catch one, you can't reel it in. So you play them a little bit. And it's too long, so what I'm going to have to do is grab the line. It's only a small fish. Grab the line. And I can get them in my net. I'm going to go ahead and I don't have my rod holder, I'll just stick this in my pocket. Unhook the fish and let them go. Nice little wild brown trout. The water is nice and cold here. And he took that wet fly. He took that wet fly. Very nice. That's about a 7-inch wild brown trout right there. And that's what I'm expecting to catch here. Just a lot of fun staying cool on a hot day. That one, I caught him where I didn't really expect. I caught him out in the middle. You just keep your eye on that strike indicator. So when you're fishing in small streams like this, what I do is I fish the whole thing right across. And this area actually gets smaller. This is one of the widest spots on this area here. But I'll fish the whole thing. Behind every rock. There's another little wild brown trout right there. Ooh, he's a good fighter. That 12-foot rod, you really can't battle it too hard. I'll bring him to me, grab the line, and go ahead and net him. I think he took the wet fly again, which is an indicator to me that they're taking emergers. Go ahead and free him. Yep, he took the wet fly again. Another beautiful little wild brown trout. Another point to make is if you're using the water to load your rod, I want to cast over to my left side. I want the water on the opposite bank to load my rod. Then my cast will go right where I want it. I want to cast to the right bank, I'll let the left side of the river load my rod. I want to keep it in the middle, so I'll let the rod load right down the middle of the river. And just put that right up. Don't lose them a lot. Or if you do lose them, you'll feel them before they get off. If you see your indicator stop or shoot and you pull and you didn't feel a fish, it probably was a rock. They're right up in there in the top. A couple more up there. Good measure. Good thing for you to remember is the fish eat best when they think they're eating alone. I'm going to go ahead and fish this a little bit higher. There we go. Now again, I want to get on that left side. Load the rod on the far side. There's a fish. I knew there was one in there. Always is. This is a decent one. I mean, it's an 8-incher. Battle him. Battle him here a bit. Whoop. Try not to fall in. And he took the nymph. Grab the line. Whoop. Get ready to let go of that line all the time because you'll snap him off. He's back up there where he was. This is a bigger fish. Oh. See, if that was a big fish, I'd have been broke off by now. I stretched as far as I could because he wanted to go up to the next county. And we're going to bring him up. Fat little brown trout. And he's in the net. And there's a good 9-inch brown trout, wild. Stream bred. And he took that Hemingway fly. Beautiful little fatty. And away he goes. And as I'm moving up, I'm going to fish behind that rapid and that rapid, and even over there a bit. And of course, right against this bank. Now this water in front of me, this faster water, is a little bit deeper. And what it's doing is it's pulling my indicator down. Get some solid footing here. Pulling my indicator down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another indicator on, maybe about another foot and a half higher. Now I know I'll have one of them floating. You can do the same thing on with your conventional rod too. Now here I moved up further and I see that's a fresh tree fall over. That fell over, a dead one obviously. But that's going to be interesting to have to deal with. It fell right on the prime spot in the hole. But I'm going to fish the back of this hole first. And a fish just took my strike indicator. They do that from time to time. See if I can get them to take my nymph. Right here in front of me. When I lost my flies, I put on a hare's ear wet and a little bit bigger of a Prince variant. It's actually a quill body with a Prince style wings. There he is. Nice one. Ooh, this is a big one. This is a good fish. Now this is a good fish here. I saw him. He's a big one. He's not 20, but he's good size. You're gonna have to battle him pretty good here. Surprised he might have been the one that came up for the indicator. Now I got 6X on, and he's at the limit of my leader here. Can't put too much. Can't give him too much leeway. Also can't force him very hard. I have to keep the steady pressure on him. Wants to go up, wants to go up. Turn him, turn him. Still coming up, 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 up. Come on back, come on back. Come on back. Come on. Okay, now he's coming back. He's coming back. Oh, wants to go the other way again. as high as I can get it up here. Keep the pressure on them. Coming in, I'm going to get the line. Oh, he's a large one. He's a large trout. Down he goes. My net. And it is a 20-inch fish. Whew! That was something on a Tenkara rod, I'll say that. They took that Prince variant. It's a male. It's a big male. And here we have a bonus. A beautiful big bonus there. That's a 20-inch fish right there. And a Tenkara. And away he goes. Whew, that was fantastic. I know that tree falling down probably moved him out of the prime spot, brought him back here in the back. And here we are. Here's the fly that he took. It is a lively legs. The quill body lively leg with those budding wings, or the Prince style wings. Nice lively legs on there. Very, very good fly right there. Something I threw together. I might have a video on this fly, but I want to check them out. Wet flies and nymphs in my playlist. I'm going to continue fishing here. Work my way up there a little bit further. Now another point with the water loading your line technique. When you do that, you still get that power, and I'm going to be able to cast my line, keep my line parallel to the water. I'm not going to make a big loop, and one of the reasons for that is there's a tree there. If I want to get it under that tree, I want to keep that line close to the water. I'm going to let that water load up my line, and it's right parallel with it. And again, right underneath that tree. Keeping that line nice and level. There's one. Oh, he's heading for the, a decent fish. Another drink or another brownie. It's not big like the last one, but it's a decent one. He's over there. Oh, there we go. We got him out. Lay him. I went down to 5X only so I could horse them harder. Get him here, get his mouth out. Okay, he's not a bad one. There we go. Beautiful red spots on them. Got some beautiful red spots on this fish. Look at that. Beautiful wild brown. And away he goes. Okay, I just took that fish in deeper water. That water there is probably about 4 feet right now. So my rig here, I have a split back Prince. Now it doesn't have the budding weeds, but it has the split back. And then I have two number 1. And then here, this is a bubble emerger with a bead on it, a bead head bubble emerger, and that's the fly that he took. But I was able to get it down to that level that they're looking for, and that's what really was the key to that fish right there, getting it to their level. That's the most important thing when you're nymph fishing. You got to get the flies down to where the fish are feeding, and that's why you use 2 flies all the time, or not all the time, but a lot of times. You use the 2 flies and you'll fish 2 different levels and you'll find them. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me. I'd love to have you. I like doing this, and see you next time. And God bless. And thank you very much for watching my videos.